Christian, this Andhra Pradesh State Minorities Commission, luminaries on the dais, and distinguished guests and friends. The level where they are acceptable and where they can put forward points in the course in a convincing manner. Now, coaching, pre-examination training for unemployed Christian youth. I think a lot has been done by probably on other sides, but here again we find ourselves pretty much lacking. Maybe Christian Finance Corporation to take up this issue, and we are all there at Christian Chamber of Commerce to help them in. All points which actually are meant to discourage the Christians and really not for any other reasons. Enhancement of financial assistance from 10 lakhs for schools, community halls, old age homes, orphanages. Representations are submitted to the government for enhancement of financial assistance for the development of institutions of churches. This enhancement is necessary due to the high rise of prices, material and labor. Can at least have their own building, a place where everyone can come to, and a place where they can probably, from where they can.
I'd like to welcome Janab Sayyid Umar Jalil IAS, Special Secretary Minorities Welfare Department, who's amongst us. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. I would like to invite Sir, Mr. Iqbal also thank you for coming and gracing the dais. Now I'd like to request Shri Shafiqul Zama IAS, retired Principal Secretary Government of Andhra Pradesh, to give his talk on the development issues and utilization of the budget related to the minorities.
Assalamu alaikum. डाइट में मौजूदा काबिनीन और दिगर हाज़रीन जलसा, मैं जलसे की मंतज़र करता है, खासकर काबिल खान साहब का, जिन्होंने मुझे यहाँ आने की मदद किया और अपनी बात रखने की इजाज़त दी। आज हम लोग यहाँ पे यौम अक़लियती हुकूक़ के इनक़ाद के लिए जमा हुए हैं। शायद आपको मालूम होगा कि अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा ने यौम अक़लियती हुकूक़ मनाने का फैसला 1992 में किया था, 1992, मगर उसके मनाने का ये तमाम पहले इस पैमाने पर कभी नहीं किया गया। और अभी उसको खान ने बताया कि पहली मरतबा क्या यहाँ हुआ। 1979 में जब गालिब सदी मनाई जा रही थी और जब गालिब सदी की तक़रीबात का इसी तरह से एहतमाम किया गया था, तो उस वक्त के मशहूर उर्दू शायर साहिब जानी ने शंकर जी मुशायरे में, जहाँ पे मोहतरमा इंदिरा गांधी वज़ीर-ए-आज़म हिंदुस्तान उस वक्त ज़ाती तौर पर मौजूद थी, उन्होंने कुछ अशार पढ़े थे और मैं उनमें से चंद अशार पढ़ना चाह रहा हूँ, जो कि इसके लिए बहुत ही मौजूद है। 21 बरस गुजरे आज़ादी कामिल को, तब जाके कहीं हमको गालिब का ख्याल आया। तुर्बत है कहाँ उसकी, मस्कन है कहाँ उसका, अब अपने फकन परवरों को यह ख्याल आया। 100 साल से तुर्बत चादर को तरसती थी, अब उसके अक़ीदत के फूलों की नुमाइश है। उर्दू के ताल्लुक़ से कुछ भेद नहीं खुलता, ये जश्न ये हंगामा खिदमत है कि साजिश है। मुझे मालूम नहीं है कि 2014 ईस्वी के तनाजुर में आज की नशिस्त सिर्फ कलाम की नशिस्त है, या इसका मकसद सही मानों में अक़लियती हुकूक़ के मुतल्लिक़ आगाही पैदा करना और उनका करार वाक़ई हक़ूक़ तक पहुँचाना है। बहरहाल सूरत हाल जो भी हो, ऐसा लगता है कि हर हमले के बाद पुलिस और मीडिया के पास रिपोर्ट की स्क्रिप्ट पहले से तैयार है, सिर्फ उसमें तारीख और नाम बदलना है। और फिर हर इस तरह के हादसे के बाद जिस तरह बेकसूर मुस्लिम नौजवानों की गिरफ्तारी की जाती है और उन्हें अजियतें दे देकर झूठे करारनामे तैयार कराए जाते हैं, उसने पूरे मुस्लिम समाज को एक हालत तरार में मुब्तला कर दिया है, जहाँ हर बार एक मुस्लिम नौजवान मुश्तबा है।
Chairman of the Minorities Commission, Sri Abid Rasul Khanji, distinguished honorees, dear friends. Today is a minorities day, minorities welfare day. I say it is a welfare day. Few days back, I gave a direction to my friend Professor Ash Nivelsi. He came the other day. I must come there. There is something because Abdul Khan always work for minorities. If he sit in the Congress, he work for Congress. When he sit here, he work for minorities. When he Christian, the most dynamic person. He is running. You know, when I came, that's what I was telling. When I came here, first I was asked to lighten the lamp. This is the procedure in every meeting, either in Lal Killa or in Charminar or in here, anywhere. This is the tradition, no? That is, India is very strong in unity. That shows our unity. What do you say? Everybody agree it also. That's a good thing. Good thing, late better than never. Our principal secretary is here. Then you show your people. He is the principal secretary for the welfare department in the sitting in the secretariat, Sachivalayam. Whatever we do, whatever we speak, whatever we resolve, it goes before him only. If he signs, then the chief minister signs. Otherwise, nobody will sign. We are most important in the body. That is why you are here now. We are happy that things will. Swanjit Singh, IPS, no, he was retired IPS officer. He was mentioning about the Christian problem. Number of my friends are there, advocates, Christians also there. They will every time they discuss about their burial ground, about illegal sale of properties, even poor properties are also said. They will discuss also. See, House of the Assembly represented by Lazarus, Mrs. Lazarus, my sister. She is here. The other upper house is represented by Padmaraju MLC. So there is one representative from each house of the secretary, legislature secretariat. Both are here. More than that, Faiza Mustafaji, you are here. He is the Vice Chancellor of Nalsar University. You are a tall personality speaking on the minorities problems. Nalsar University Vice Chancellor. How you are invited, how you gathered all these people, Professor sitting there, Professor Purushottam Reddy is there. See, they are all committed to the welfare of the minorities everywhere. Because unequal growth leads to problems, revolt, disruptions, misunderstanding. So there must be a society must go equally, equal development. So equal development, unequal problem should not be there. That is why we represent the you put your special experts also to make a study on this also. Send suggestions also. Implementation side we should not go back on this. Now, I can assure you full support and solidarity to this on this day to the minorities. Thank you very much.
Shafiqur Rahman Mahajer, senior advocate, will be talking on minorities and their access to justice.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, I would like your attention, please. I was supposed to make a presentation, but that's not going to be possible. The functions of the Commission are to evaluate the working of various safeguards in the Constitution to ensure their effective implementation vis-à-vis the rights of the minorities. Towards this end, the Commission is given certain powers, including the power to exercise the powers that the civil court exercises insofar as summoning documents, examining witnesses, etc. is concerned. There has been a persistent pattern of misinterpretation. Will you please switch off those mobiles? There has been a persistent pattern of misinterpretation as far as constitutional provisions are concerned, pertaining to the rights of minorities. We have Articles 15 and 16 of the Constitution which talk about the protection against discrimination. And on the ground that insofar as education is concerned, the Constitution says that people should be educationally and socially backward, and the conjunctive "and" makes it mandatory for people to be socially and educationally backward. Muslims are only educationally backwards. Since there is no caste system in Islam, Muslims cannot per se be socially backward. The state has been denying reservation to minorities. When the state goes out on a limb and makes such a reservation, it is the court's turn now to strike them down on the ground of colorable exercise of power, religious favoritism. Welfare of the Muslims insofar as educational opportunities were concerned Muslim philanthropists came forward and set up minority educational institutions of their own. When these minority institutions are granted aid, they are precluded from having admissions as they want to. On what ground is this denied to them? On the ground that the state is giving aid. But if you appreciate, Section 70 of the Contract Act says that if I do something which it is your duty to do and I don't intend to do it gratis, then you are bound to compensate me for it. On behalf of the state, I am discharging the state's duty to promote education among its legal sections, and the state paying me what it ought to pay me, categorizes it as aid, and thereby denudes me of the right to make admissions the way I want to. Most improper. Now, we have the official language issue. Is Urdu not an official language in this country, in this state? How many people are invited to submit applications for government positions with knowledge of Urdu as one of the prescribed criteria? None. The result is that in government office after government office, you find people who cannot speak Urdu today, who cannot read Urdu documents today. The result is that when a Muslim goes into a government office or a police station, he is under a disability. He is not in receipt of his rights as a citizen on account of this discrimination on the grounds of linguistic minorities being excluded from the development, from the fruits of development insofar as the rest of the communities are concerned. There was an advertisement for police constables, I remember 32,000 or odd, and it was stated that knowledge of Telugu would be a requirement, not Urdu. What happens to all those Urdu speaking people who live in Hyderabad, in Kurnool, in God knows which other district of the state? You find official records of waqf boards in doldrums because hardly anyone today in government offices is able to read those documents in order to understand and interpret, translate them correctly. The result is that the government merely proceeds to parcel out waqf lands to private entrepreneurs for a profit, projecting it as developing the state, but in a sense colonizing the Muslims. If you see the gate post of the High Court, you find pictures of Hindu deities there. Is a secular institution of justice willing to allow itself to be projected as having an ideological link with a certain belief system? Should it be the duty of a citizen to remind a court of its duty, or should it be the other way around? Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be happening. I therefore take this opportunity to request the Andhra Pradesh State Minorities Commission to compile a database on all these issues of relevance to the minorities, a compilation of government policies and court rulings on all these issues, and to ensure that all statutory commissions, commissions of inquiry that are set up, deliver reports which are tabled and made public so that there is a public debate on them. Government money has been spent, people's rights are involved. You cannot create a report as an expert body and then brush it under the carpet. A couple of years ago, I remember reading in the newspaper that one day after retirement, a High Court judge of Delhi High Court joined the BJP. Very recently in the news, we saw the Home Secretary joined the BJP. Are these people who have suddenly started taking a liking to the BJP's policies, or were they all along persons functioning for and on behalf of the BJP effectively as infiltrators? Do you notice how all terror investigations in the past pointed only to Muslims and now something else is coming out as facts? Is it connected with this infiltration process? Should something be done about a statutory authority like the Minorities Commission on this issue? We notice that on Vijayadashmi, Durga Puja, weapons are worshipped in police stations. I have slides, I wanted to show them to you. Does this not create a mental linkage between the person wielding the weapon and the ideology with which they are associating this use of these weapons? Is it possible that this reflects in the manner in which they use this weapon when there is a confrontation between people of community A and community B? They say jihad is anti-national. In fact, people were arrested on the ground of having jihadi literature. The Quran talks about jihad, and we not only say about it with our tongues, we believe it in our hearts. So are all Muslims jihadis and therefore terrorists? I am reading, for your benefit, a quote from the Bhagavad Gita. Life is a continuous battle between the forces of evil and goodness. A valiant person must fight with the spirit of a warrior, with a will and determination for victory, and without any compromise with the forces of evil and difficulties. It is better to die for a right cause and acquire the grace of sacrifice than to die an ordinary but compulsory death. And then, this is Lord Krishna speaking to Arjuna, and he says, if you are killed in the battle, you will ascend to heaven. On the contrary, if you win the war, you will enjoy the comforts of earthly kingdom as well. Are not all Hindus who follow the Bhagavad Gita then jihadis? The same thought is reflected in the Guru Granth Sahib, and the same thought is reflected in the biblical evangelical teachings. This concept of linking a certain community with terror is a disease in the minds of members of the majority community, which must be combated. With regard to Mr. Vijay Kumar Soni, the newspaper puts it in quotes and says rioter sent to prison. And in the body of the narrative they say alleged rioter. This never struck anyone when charges of sedition, treason, waging war against the state and terrorism were leveled against Muslims. No question of allegation then. Mr. Narayana Murthy of Infosys, speaking about the Chief Minister of Gujarat, says that the man must be permitted to show a sense of contrition and move on. Sure, it's not Mr. Narayana Murthy who's been involved. And therefore, these so-called captains of industry looking for cheap land are willing to play ball with murderers and promoters of murderers in order to achieve their own ulterior objectives. 2 minutes before I finish, today's newspaper talks about the nation remembering the Delhi Braveheart. Who is the Delhi Braveheart? The Delhi Braveheart is the girl who had been raped and murdered. The entire nation rose as one. How many people have been raped and murdered by our friends in uniform? Are those not Bravehearts? Are those people not entitled to the same salute by the nation? Or are they less human than that poor girl who suffered that fate? How come we do not stand in salute to those who have been oppressed by the state, which is joined with the responsibility of protecting their rights. Those people who are in charge of governance ought to hang their heads in shame. We have here rogue policemen. Rogue policemen have shamed the state. And when I raised this issue in seminars, I was told, including by senior congressmen in Delhi, we cannot believe that the entire police force is communal. Some police officers may be communal. You're damn right, some police officers are communal. But when the rest of the police force does not step up and stop them, detain them and ensure that they are prosecuted, the rest of the police force aligns themselves with these blackbacks and police. Knowing that this happens when the judiciary does not step out and exercise its sworn power of correction, the judiciary makes itself liable to be asked the same question. Does your inaction not make you culpable, sir? In my respectful submission, yes it does. 6 years on, says the newspaper today again, on the same page as the report about that brave heart. 6 years on, parents of Muslim youth who have been taken illegally and who have disappeared are clueless about their whereabouts. These are the real brave hearts. Today from this podium, on behalf of the minorities of the country, I salute those people and I call upon the Minorities Commission to rise to the occasion and ensure that in all these cases, justice is done. One submission before I finish, sir. There are 9 crore people in this state, and of 9 crore people, a few have been selected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to constitute the commission. 9 crore people, and you have been selected. Surely there is a reason for it. I am not asking you, I am telling you, you will rise to the occasion and you will ensure that this Minorities Commission has the teeth that are required to serve as an effective check and balance of the government. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your fiery speech and making us rise to the occasion. Now I'd like to go on and invite Sheikh Mohammed Iqbal to kindly give a few words on today.
Respected Governor Sultan Sir, Secretary, respected dignitaries on the dais. अभी शफीक साहब बात करने के बाद so it's still resonating, the kind of forceful the speech he made. It's difficult for anybody to make a speech and impress the people. But,
maybe he's following Obama.
Well, what I feel today, the Minority Rights Day, he made a few points. That people who have the passion, जिसको वो जज्बा है, वो अगर right positions में हैं, तो काम बनेगा. So he was also mentioning about systemic lapses. He was also mentioning about lapses from the community. अभी मेरे एक दोस्त ने मुझे SMS भेजा है. उम्र भर मैं यही भूल करता रहा, धूल चेहरे पे थी और आईना साफ करता था. So I think it's quite relevant that we should introspect. So पहले हम हमारा आईना साफ कर रहे हैं और आप भी. So give us some time. Of course, they say that a lot of budget has been given to us.
As per statistics, the fish consumption is unspent. Verify
So, well, this is not the time for us to give statistics and debate with him that so much is spent, so much is not spent. But the point is well taken that we need to, the money which is allocated has to be spent on the right purposes and which is meant for which it is spent for, and which where will strive hard. And people come to us who have been here. There are certain systemic inadequacies, administrative inadequacies, हैं कुछ खामियां इस तरफ हैं. We are must set right, and we are confident that with all your support and guidance from elders like Shafiq Sir, and with our minority commission chairman and other elders like Madam Christy Lazarus, we are committed. And now that our secretary Mr. Jalil has joined, we in cooperation with him, we have his cooperation, all your cooperation, will come up to your expectations. And I am not here to debate why the money hasn't been spent so far, on what count it has.
Now I would want a couple of remarks from Janab Sayyid Umar Jalil Sir, who's the IAS officer, and all of us have a lot of expectations from you, sir.
Janab Faizan Mustafa Sahab, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Nalsar University, Honorable Chairman, Minorities Commission, Janab Abidul Hamza, distinguished guests on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. After Shafiq Rahman Mahajir Sahab, whoever will be speaking will be like his master's voice. Madam, I would like to tell you, whatever label you may like to put on me, I have a single point agenda, and for that reason only I have agreed to be Special Secretary Minorities Welfare, and that is whatever money, whatever facilities have been set apart for the welfare of the minorities, I intend to use every penny of it, every paisa of it. Gentlemen, question has been raised and there have been reports in the press, rightly too, about the amounts allocated and how the amounts are not yet being utilized. For your information, this amount has been mentioned all over again and again. 1,027 crores have been set apart for the welfare of the minorities in this financial year, out of which 476 crore has been released up to now. The other 600 is not yet available with us. It will come. It will come. But I would like to point out to you, out of the 476 crores, 305 crores has been utilized towards pension, towards scholarship, towards reimbursement of fee, and towards some other smaller schemes. But the major part of it is still available, and I would like to bring it to your notice that 310 crore rupees has been set apart for scholarships for the minority welfare. But unfortunately, the number of applicants who have applied for scholarship is 1.87 lakh persons who have applied for the scholarship. And may I tell you, what is the amount required to pay every single person of this 1.87 lakhs? 110 crores is good enough to take care of this 1,87,000 applicants. I would say all the Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, Parsis, Buddhists, Jains, but you are only 1.87 lakhs. Why are they not coming forward? My crux of today's speech, or not like to say a speech, I would like just stress upon you. Certain funds have been kept apart, but minorities as a whole, including Muslims and other sects, minorities as a whole are very reticent. I am using the word reticent to take this opportunity. This money is yours. This country is very great. This country is an example to all the world. This is available. First of all, अपना हक मांगना सीखिए. ये पैसा खर्च नहीं हो रहा तो जाके वो ऑफिसर से पूछे क्यों नहीं हुआ? Why is it not been sanctioned? My application has been lying there. Yes, officers who are there at the helm of affairs like me have to, and I am intent to place it before the government the government has been kind enough in sanctioning nearly 1 lakh posts in different departments all over the state. My department alone is one which has not been sanctioned the post. The commissioner has come only 3-4 months back. He does not have a proper car, he does not have a driver, he does not have a deputy director to work along with him. एक आदमी क्या कर सकता है? But then again at the same time, ताली दो हाथ से बजती है. ऑफिसर काम करे और पब्लिक भी आके पूछे कि क्यों नहीं हुआ काम. कभी मिलके हो सकता है. I do not want to use it in a negative way, but अगर किसी और कम्युनिटी का बजट इस्तेमाल नहीं हुए तो कितना हल्ला होता है कि आपका इस्तेमाल ना हुए तो क्यों नहीं पूछते आप, चाहे डिस्ट्रिक्ट हो चाहे शहर हो. This is not a good thing to have a pressure group, but you must be able to say, stand up and say, why this has been given to be by government, why is it not utilized? पूछने वाली चाहिए. दूसरी बात I am trying to take every opportunity to educate, because it is the minorities who are lagging behind in education, it is the minorities who are lagging behind in employment, they are lagging behind in every respect, and it is my feeling and my observation that all of this is because of lack of education. Lack of awareness. So you have to come forward, and I want to tell you that there are a lot of schemes which are there from the department for training and employment, for improving the language, for improving the culture of Christians and Muslims as of today. But I would like to invite and request all the honorable members of the commission, hailing from the Sikh community, the Jain community, the Buddhists, the Parsis, please come forward. Let us formulate schemes for all of you. You are all part of it. Minorities does not mean Muslims and Christians. So, the great dream that India is of unity and diversity, everybody should be part of it and everybody should benefit equally. And every part of it, if I am fully dressed and my hair is unkempt and not in a presentable way, will it be good? Will it look good? No. So if a whole personality is to look good, every part of your body has to look good. Every individual community who is there in this country has to be equally taken care of. There are ways, there are things which we are planning to do, and I would like to promise in front of you on this podium, in the next 30 or 40, in the next 40 days, we will be opening up one center for preparing minority students to appear for the civil services 2014. In the next 40 days, inshallah. And other than that, 3 study circles to cater to the needs of training our boys and girls for competing in all the other competitive exams. So this is what we are planning to do, and I would request each one of you to stand up and ask if something has not been done. And every time there is a scheme, you first of all must have the information about the scheme, and you must apply in time. Most of the time it is the minority boys who have not applied in time. The minority boys have not applied properly. If you require, there are organizations, and we will also be setting up some kind of facilitation centers for boys to apply. So once again, I would like to point out to you, 12-13 is already over. 12-13 का आपके funds पूरा नहीं release हुआ है, लेकिन 12-13 is already over. Only 1,87,000 applied. But 2013 and 14 is there. We still have another 1,000 crore which will be coming, and possibly more than that. So not 1,87,000. Let us have more. Because there are 28 lakhs students who are applying from all over the communities. Out of that, backward classes are 14.5 lakhs. SCs are about 2.07 lakhs. STs are 2,10,000. Why minorities all put together 1,87,000? Let us have it more than the 3-4 lakh people. This blessed government, I would say blessed government, because it is giving sanctioned to each and every person who is found eligible. Nowhere in India, possibly nowhere in the world, every person who applies is being taken care of. Whatever the fee is, 1500 रुपए रहो, चाहे 1.5 लाख रुपए रहो, government is paying for it. Why can't you take this opportunity? Please take the opportunity. Each and every person who wants to get himself educated, please apply. 13-14 is still around. Please apply and take your benefit. Thank you very much. Good day.
Thank you, Shafiq. And Dr. Faizan Mustafa. Now my fellow member wants to say a few words. Mr. Gautam Jain, please.
Our dynamic chairman of Andhra Pradesh State Minorities Commission, Janab Abid Rasool Khan ji, former chairman Qureshi ji, respected distinguished guests on the dais, and my friends, today on this World Minorities Rights Day, which has been started first time after the constitution of this Andhra Pradesh State Minorities Commission. First of all, I would like to thank our Honorable Chief Minister, Sri N. Kiran Kumar Reddy ji, for giving minority status to the Jain community in Andhra Pradesh, which was the long pending demand of our Jain community. Secondly, at the same time, a dynamic person like Abid Rasool Khan ji, who is chairing as the chairman of the Andhra Pradesh State Minorities Commission, as soon as he assumed the charge, a good message has been sent to all the districts of this Andhra Pradesh, and this is 5 months period which we have got. Commission has created many wonders, which I can say very proudly. आपको मालूम है कि आज कमीशन फॉर्म होने के बाद मेरे जैसे कार्यकर्ता को आज मुख्यमंत्री जी ने एवं आबिद भाई ने जिस प्रकार से रिबन कर आज जैन समाज का एक नुमाइंदा जो आज आंध्र प्रदेश के अंदर मनोनीत किया है, चेयरमैन साहब, मैं हमारी समाज आपको और मुख्यमंत्री को कभी भूल नहीं सकती। जो भी सज्जन आपके द्वार पे आता है, चाहे रोड नंबर 12 घर पे हो, चाहे नॉर्थ वेस्ट ब्लॉक सेकेंड फ्लोर सेक्रेटरीट के अंदर हो, जो बड़ी मायूसी से आता है, जो ही इनको मिलता है खुशी से जो है द्वार के बाहर निकलता है, ऐसे है हमारे चेयरमैन। लेकिन चेयरमैन साहब, हमारी जैन समाज जो बड़ी मुश्किल से 5 लाख की समाज हमारे आंध्र प्रदेश के अंदर है, हमें बड़ी खुशी है कि भाई माइनॉरिटी स्टेटस का दर्जा मिला है, लेकिन अब तक जो बेनिफिट्स हमें मिलने चाहिए हैं, हमें बड़ी उम्मीद है कि जिस प्रकार से जो डेलीगेशंस आज तक आपको मिलते हुए आ रहे हैं, आप बहुत ही गर्मजोशी से स्वागत करके जो हर एक सब्जेक्ट के अंदर बहुत इंटरेस्ट ले रहे हैं। लेकिन मैं समझता हूं कि पहली बार जब हमारे जैन समाज को यह स्टेटस मिला है, तो हम सबको जो है कड़ी मेहनत करनी होगी ताकि हमारे जैन समाज की आम जनता तक जो हमारे बेनिफिट्स है माइनॉरिटीज के, वो पहुंचने के लिए हमें फाउंडेशन हमारा बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग करना चाहिए। मैं इस संदर्भ के अंदर, क्योंकि जैन समाज एक बहुत ही रेस्पेक्टेड समाज है, मैं इन बेनिफिट्स को हमारी आम जनता तक पहुंचने के लिए हमने एक जो है देखते ही देखते वह पब्लिक रिलेशन कमेटी जो है अब हमारे आम जनता के पास गवर्नमेंट के स्कीम्स लेकर जाएगी, ताकि हमारे आम जैन समाज के भाइयों को जिस प्रकार से बेनिफिट्स मिलना चाहिए, मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि हमारे चेयरमैन साहब जो कोई भी मसला हम ले जाते हैं वो तुरंत उसे सॉल्व करते हैं। हमने कई बार हमारे जैन समाज के मसले के बारे में इनसे डिस्कशन किया है। मैं ज्यादा वक्त नहीं लेते हुए सिर्फ इतना ही कहना चाहूंगा कि चेयरमैन साहब एक हमको जो है 10 एकड़ की जमीन जो है हमारे रंगारेड्डी जिला के अंदर अगर आप दिलाएंगे जैन समाज को, तो हमारे जैन समाज के अंदर भी बहुत सारे गरीब तबके के लोग हैं, उनको हम रिहेबिलिटेट कर सकेंगे। ऐसी मैं आपसे जो है गुजारिश करता हूं। मैं क्योंकि आज पहली बार जिस प्रकार से यह जो सेमिनार का आज आयोजन किया गया है और 1026 करोड़ जो हमारे जो है माइनॉरिटी डेवलपमेंट के लिए जो फंड दिया गया है, मैं प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी साहब हमारे उमर जलील साहब का जो है तहे दिल से शुक्रगुजार हूं कि जिन्होंने हमारी कम्युनिटी का नाम भी जो है मेंशन कर उन्होंने कहा है कि आप आइए, आपके क्या प्रॉब्लम्स है मेरे टेबल पे आइए, मैं उस कार्य को जो है आपको जो है सफलता प्रदान करूंगा। अभी वो जाते वक्त जो है मुझे अश्योर किया है। ऐसे राइट पर्सन ऑन द राइट अपॉर्चुनिटी और राइट रिस्पांसिबिलिटी के साथ हमारे चेयरमैन साहब के साथ भी आज हमारे डायनेमिक मेंबर जो है बुद्धिस्ट, क्रिश्चियन, सिख, बुद्धिस्ट एंड पारसी जैन, जो हम सब एक टीम होकर जो है हमारे चेयरमैन साहब के समय समय पर हाथ मजबूत करते हैं। और इतने डायनेमिक पर्सनालिटी होने के नाते आज हर एक जिले के अंदर जब कहीं पर भी वो जाते हैं तो हमें तुरंत फोन करते हैं कि जैन साहब मैं वहां पर जा रहा हूं, आप भी हमारे साथ चलिए। तो इसे क्वालिटीज के हिसाब से जिस प्रकार से आज यह चेयरमैन बने हैं, मैं समझता हूं कि बहुत सारी जनता को जो है पिटीशंस के द्वारा जिस प्रकार से न्याय पहुंचा है, मैं समझता हूं कि आंध्र प्रदेश के इतिहास के अंदर माइनॉरिटी कमीशन ने बहुत बड़ा नाम कमाया है। और हमारे जैन समाज के ऊपर आप सभी का आशीर्वाद बना रहेगा। इन्हीं चंद शब्दों के साथ मैं अपना स्थान ग्रहण करता हूं। जय हिंद।
आज जो यूनाइटेड नेशन रेजोल्यूशंस के तहत माइनॉरिटीज़ राइट्स डे है, तो इसके बारे में जब हमें पता चला तो हम सोचे कि यहाँ पे सेमिनार रखना, और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह बड़ा कामयाब सेमिनार हुआ। बहुत अहम हस्ती आए और अपने बयानात से हम सबको रोशनी डाले हैं क्या राइट्स से हमारे यहाँ कैसा हासिल करना है। और यहाँ पे लोग भी मौजूद थे और यहाँ पे ऑडियंस में भी बहुत अहम लोग थे। मैं सबको स्टेज पे नहीं बुला सका और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह बड़ा अच्छा कामयाब प्रोग्राम है और इंशाल्लाह हर साल हम करेंगे, इससे ज़ोरदार तरीके से करेंगे। और काम प्रोग्राम में नहीं, जो इसमें रेजोल्यूशंस मिले हैं इसको हम अमल में लाने का काम ज़्यादा ज़ोर से करेंगे और इंशाल्लाह हम करके बताएंगे।